does that a lot at the beginning.
1, 2, 3. We're live on Weight Loss Wednesday, episode 53. And there's Chef AJ waiting for a live viewer.
Yep, we're waiting for, as opposed to a dead viewer, of course.
Well, we got 4. We're ready to go.
All right, but do they see and hear? Because one time the orientation was off and we were sideways like
we
this.
got a blue bowl, and we got a hello. We got a hey AJ from Cindy Voss.
Hi, Cindy.
But does anyone talk to us and say we can hear?
Can you hear? I was faking. Can you hear me? I was being funny.
I don't know if they can see my lip reading.
You can look at your own phone to see if you
Oh, they can hear us.
All right, great. Okay, let's get started. Hey, everybody, and welcome to episode 53 of Weight Loss Wednesday. I'm Chef AJ, the creator of the Ultimate Weight Loss Program, and this is where I answer your questions about healthy, permanent, and sustainable weight loss. Today is the day before Thanksgiving, and the first question is what do I eat for Thanksgiving? Well, I eat the same thing on Thanksgiving that I eat the other 364 days of the year. I don't use that as an excuse to go off plan. I don't stop being vegan because it's Thanksgiving. I don't. 364 days of the year. That annoys the heck out of me when you do that, Kenny. You got to turn the volume down. Very, very distracting. So, what I'm having, this is actually the Wednesday before Thanksgiving, and so we do our dinner the night before. We do a vegan SOS-free potluck so that I can see all my friends who have to go to their families on Thursdays. So I'm going to show you what I'm contributing. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to make one of my most popular recipes from my book, Unprocessed. If you have it, you can follow along on page 134. And I'm going to make my nutrient-rich black bean soup, which has almost 10 pounds of vegetables in it. And we have a lot of people coming because it makes 32 cups. Now, you could do this recipe in the Instant Pot, but then you have to cut it in half because you can't fit 32 cups in an Instant Pot, but you could fit about 16 cups. So on the stove, in the pot, I have 12 cups of liquid. I'm using water because it's free, but you could use no sodium vegetable broth, which you can easily make in your Instant Pot. I've showed you how to do that in some of my free webinars. So boiling, I've got my 12 cups of water. So watch this. Kenny, can you get close-ups to this? My hand is still not quite where I need it to be, so I really can't use a knife. So what I'm going to do is literally put everything in the pot without cutting it up. So there goes a 2-pound sweet potato.
So ladies and gentlemen, we're doing pot tonight.
2 onions. I don't have to chop anything up. I have got a pound of mushrooms, and again, I not only don't have time to cut things up, but I don't have the ability with my right hand the way it is. I'm going to add half of the amount of black beans that I'm using and half the amount of corn, and I'll talk a little bit more later about the beans and the corn, but I want to get these in right now. Boom, 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 boom. It is a black bean soup. Nobody's going to know that there's about 10 pounds of vegetables in it, including 2 pounds of the dark green leafies. I've got a pound.
Is that bok choy?
This is the baby bok choy. I've got a pound of that. And I'm going to add all this chard as soon as it cooks down a little bit. I'm just going to jam it all in. This is how I roll. Even when my hand is well, this is still how I make almost all of my soups. I just put everything in. Now, what else goes in there? There's not a lot of room left. So I'm going to add my garlic. If a little's good, more is better. And one of my secret ingredients for SOS-free cooking are sun-dried tomatoes. These are the kind that are sulfite-free. These are free of oil and salt. This is about 3/4 of a cup of sun-dried tomatoes. And believe it or not, this is made from 4 pounds of tomatoes. And while it is not salty, it is so intensely flavorful, you don't miss the salt when you put that in. So we're just going to put everything in. We're going to do our seasonings later. I've taught you many times how you always want to do your seasonings in advance. We're going to close the lid. This is going to take about 30 minutes to cook down. And when it does, we're going to take our immersion blender and blend it. In the meantime, I want to thank a few people for some wonderful gifts. Yeah.
Could we use the Instant Pot for that?
I answered that earlier. If you were listening, I said you can, but you have to cut the recipe in half because this makes 32 cups of soup.
Gotcha.
So Instant Pot, absolutely, but you need to cut the recipe in half. And also, because the greens are so voluminous, I recommend when you do this recipe in the Instant Pot, you use a bag of frozen spinach or kale because you saw how voluminous the greens were. So thank you to Elspeth from thespeedyvegan.com who gifted me with this really adorable t-shirt that says Pardon My Turkey. Pardon My Turkey is a wonderful ebook for the holidays, which if you are on my mailing list, you'll know we sent out a link to how to get that, and she contributed a few of these to our big giveaway a few weeks ago. We made the butternut soup last week, so this is a wonderful book if you need more suggestions for either tomorrow, Thanksgiving, or the holidays. And thank you to Jackie Shook for these adorable earrings. They are sweet potatoes, so thank you. And there's more gifts I want to show, but first I want to bring on a very special guest today. A lot of the questions are about fitness, which is not my area of expertise. I've only been exercising now for about 5 years of my almost 60 years on this planet, and so we're lucky to have in town one of the most well-known authorities on the subject of fitness and nutrition. He helps me facilitate the Ultimate Weight Loss Program. Please welcome all the way from Boulder, Colorado, John Pierre. Woo-hoo! Very good. So,
should we get to some questions?
Yeah, Kenny, you got some.
Kenny,
I know a lot of the
some
questions are for
us?
JP. You know, while he's getting the questions, I don't know if you noticed the ingredients that I put in that pot.
I did.
Why do you think these are good ingredients for us to be eating, not just on Thanksgiving, but any day? The beans, the corn, the greens, the sweet potato.
Well, obviously the most filling food that we can eat is a potato. So we always want to have potatoes for as our starch and for the fullness factor.
Yep. Well, we've got corn and beans, so we've got actually all three kinds of, we have potatoes.
The three sisters, they call that.
Yeah, whole grains. That's what I call the three gals in Hilton Head. The three sisters, Karen, Mary Lou, and Leslie. They call, because they are literally three sisters.
Right.
But you're right. You're talking about the ancient Indian thing.
Sure meal.
But it's like triple starch because we've got corn, which is a whole grain, beans, which are a legume, and the potatoes. So it's a very satiating soup. And often I put it over rice, which is like. Holy.
And remember, when you get the corn, you don't have to buy yellow corn.
Right, white corn is very good. Blue corn.
Blue corn would even be better. And same thing with carrots. You know, they weren't originally orange. You know that.
The Dutch hybridized carrots in the 17th century used to always be purple, the kind I eat. One of the things I want to say is we always go by the Clean 15 and the Dirty Dozen. While we recommend organic whenever possible, certain foods, you know, like cantaloupe, the world doesn't come to an end if you maybe ate it conventional because you're not going to eat the skin. But corn, we always recommend organic.
Yep, non-GMO.
Right, and non-GMO, absolutely.
And for some people, you know, there's a protein in corn called zein, Z-E-I-N, that people are allergic to. So obviously, if you're allergic to corn, then you can omit it.
You can omit it, absolutely.
But you can still leave everything else. It's a perfect mixture of everything. Remember, our greens are probably our number one food that we cannot get enough of.
Right.
We always say if you have a problem, you solve it with.
Yeah, whatever the question, the answer is kale. And there's over 2 pounds of greens in this soup, and because they're blended, it's going to look and taste just like a black bean soup. Nobody's going to know that all these vegetables are there.
In blending, it's the secret because you get more every time you take a spoonful. It's a massive amount of greens in there instead of you have to chew them all. So if you have kids or senior citizens, every soupful, mouthful is very important to them. So you want to blend.
Yeah. And I don't follow exactly Dr. Grigger's Daily Dozen, but I know that a lot of them are in this. Just there are a lot of Dr. Furman's G-bombs. I mean, this soup can hit both of those.
Especially the mushrooms, too.
Right,
are really
the mushrooms
critical.
and the onions.
Why don't you mention the spices?
Oh,
the
sure,
spices
absolutely.
are really critical.
The spices are right here, and I always tell people to make your spices up in advance, put a little label on it, because it saves a lot of time if you make the same recipe over and over, which most people do. So today we're using cumin. I actually am using smoked cumin because it's just roasted cumin, a little bit more flavorful. Oregano, my very favorite spice, smoked paprika, and chipotle powder. There's no salt, sugar, or oil. So these are the 4 spices we're using today.
I would recommend that one spice that I would use all the time if you can is turmeric. So if you go to my site, livingwithharmony.org, and you click on resident recommendations, the turmeric that I recommend is on there.
Okay.
That's the one. So livingwithharmony.org. But let's get to our questions.
Sure.
Kenny has some of the questions. We have a lot of them today.
Yeah, because you haven't been here in 3 weeks.
I know.
That's
I've been
why.
working.
So the question we have here is from Bianca. Bianca's been vegan for a while, and she has a quick question about fruit. She says, when I eat fruit, I find myself overeating. Everything, yes, even potatoes, and totally binging. Not only compliant food though. Should I cut out fruit for a while and see if it calms down? Then could I reintroduce fruit and into my diet once my body stabilizes from the amount of sugar, processed food that I've been eating, or processed food that I've been eating before?
Why don't you start?
Well, okay. So, I'm a big fan of doing experiments. So I don't like to make a hard fast rule. Yes, you must cut out fruit, never eat fruit again. So the thing is what I would ask her is how much fruit is she eating, what kind, in what order, and how much relative to starch. So for example, you have to understand that zucchini, eggplant, tomato, bell pepper, okra, and cucumber. Ththese are fruits.
Yep.
And I've never met anybody that binges on these fruits that are about 67 to 72 calories per
I think
pound.
she means real
So
sugary
she's
fruit.
probably meaning sweet fruits. Now, people that get their food addiction treated in the non-vegan world are told they can never have bananas, they can never have any dried fruit like dates or raisins, they can't have mango, pineapple, or grapes, because those foods tend to be very high in sugar and tend to lend themselves to overeating, whereas most people aren't binging on grapefruit, and I'm guessing they're probably not even binging on green apples or blueberries.
Berries, yeah.
So the first thing I would say is you could do an experiment and cut out sweet fruits, just to see, and eat the savory fruits.
Yep.
Oven roasted ratatouille, lots of recipes with those, and just see if that makes a difference, how you feel. Then I would say you could add the lowest glycemic fruits first, the grapefruit, the green apple, the berries, and then see how that makes you feel, because you weren't really specific, because a lot of times people do overeat on things like bananas.
Absolutely.
We've got people in the group that are eating 5 bananas when they're full after dinner, making ice cream of it, and they're concentrating the sugars in those fruits, which are high in sugar and also low in water.
And remember today that much of the fruit has been hybridized. So if you look at apples 100 years ago or different fruits 100 years ago, they were not anywhere as sweet as they are today. So one of the things that happens is when you start eating sweets, especially sweet fruit, it kind of just opens up the floodgates and it just sets you off. That's why artificial sweeteners are so dangerous. People think they're a great dieting food. They're actually one of the worst dieting foods you could ever have, because they're 100 times sweeter than sugar.
Yep.
So so you're still getting an insulin blast even though you're not taking sugar, and you're still getting a dopamine hit.
And because you're not getting a calorie reward, it's actually making you hungrier. And the
Exactly.
people that do the diet sodas and the erythritol and xylitol and stevia actually end up eating more because they're
volume.
so hungry. One of the things I would say is, and I recommend this to people in the Ultimate Weight Loss Program, is to definitely start your day in a savory way.
Oh,
So
absolutely.
instead of having just fruit for breakfast, or fruit smoothies, or even oats with fruits, we start with vegetables. And if we're going to have oats, we have savory oats with shiitake mushrooms and kale
Yes.
and garlic and maybe a sprinkle of nutritional yeast. I recommend to people that have trouble binging and trouble moderating their use of fruit because of the intense sweetness, to use fruit in conjunction with their meal. So instead of having it first, or instead of even having it for dessert, use fruit to make the vegetables taste delicious. When you have your steamed kale in the morning, add a little bit of pineapple to make it more pleasurable. When you have your giant salad, which you should be having at least once a day, if not twice a day, grate an apple, grate a pear, put in some berries. And so using fruit so you can still get that delicious sweetness and the properties, but don't eat it by itself if it's a problem.
And also remember too that when you sign up for Ultimate Weight Loss, we cover all the different supplements and powders that help nullify that sweet craving.
Right.
So if you're not a part of Ultimate Weight Loss, sign up soon.
And these aren't things we sell. So Kenny's pointing
So
to
I was
something.
gonna say I felt like I was about to fail because I put mango and pineapple in, but then I only put a little bit of mango and a little bit of pineapple to make it sweet and to like your
Right,
vegetables.
but it's in a huge salad.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah,
in a
it's good.
huge beef
So,
salad. It's not
it's gonna be
just
good.
good.
The
And
lime's
also,
gonna make it
you're
good.
not a food addict, and we're not serving food addicts tonight, really,
Right.
as far as I
Gotcha.
know.
All right, so do you want to go to the next question?
Absolutely.
Absolutely.
Jinx.
David Goldman, who taught us at True North, talked about a study on the effects of perceived hunger and fat oxidation. It was about 3 meals a day versus 6 meals a day. The study showed the same amount of fat oxidation but increased hunger on 6 meals a day. Why would 6 meals not be more satisfying? Is there something to this?
And who wrote the question?
That's Betty Lynn.
Betty Lynn. I'm gonna let you take this, because
Well-
to me, 6 meals would be less satisfying to me.
Yeah,
'Cause
but
I
the
like
problem is that what were the meals? Because if
Right.
they had fruit or sweets, all it's doing is setting you up. It's opening the floodgates, and you're wanting more and more and more. We don't need 3 meals a day. You don't need 6 meals a day. You can get by on 1 meal a day, and definitely 2 meals
for
a day.
sure, yeah.
For sure, intermittent fasting.
Yeah.
We're just trained by the food industry to believe you need to have 3, 4, 5 meals a day plus snacks. That's how they sell the
Right,
product.
You gotta
Exactly.
keep them in business, right?
Exactly, but you don't need. If you think about primitive people are working all day. They're not eating 3, 4, 5, 6 times a day. But it really depends on what the meals were they were eating. Yeah.
absolutely
All right, so we want to go into the questions. We got some exercise stuff.
good.
Yes. Was there any
Let's
other
read.
questions though?
The other questions were pretty much, what should I eat post a hard boot camp workout? Beans? Question mark?
Oh, okay. It
Beans?
depends on what your goal is. You know, you're trying to lose weight, trying to gain muscle, you're trying to recover faster. It really depends. Just in a general approach, I would say something like sweet potatoes and beans and greens are like a perfect meal because you're getting a good amount of antioxidants, you're getting your starch, and you're getting protein all in one meal. So that's a great way to be
But do you
covered.
think people have to eat the minute they're done working out? I mean, when I first started working out, because I hadn't worked out for 52 years till you inspired me to work out, at first I used to get really hungry. Now, I don't. I mean, I don't get any hungrier because I took a 90-minute spin class than I do if I didn't. I might
Yep.
get hungrier sooner, but I don't feel like I have this voracious appetite. Like, so is it really that critical that we must eat the second we're done working out?
No, but here's the thing. There's a lot of research that shows you have about a window of 45 minutes after a workout to resynthesize glycogen, to store that sugar in your muscles and your liver for tomorrow's workout. So some people do it for that. A lot of athletes that I work out with, they get anorexic when they're done working out, meaning they lose their appetite.
Right, and that's kind of what
So
happens
for
to
them, I have them actually blend. So because this way they'll drink it, and that's okay, but they won't sit and eat this huge salad.
Right.
So when I'm working with athletes, a lot of times I encourage it any way they can.
Yep.
But no, you don't have to.
Right, and that's a lot of people think that if they don't eat before their workout, they won't have the energy to fuel their workout.
Oh,
but
no.
when I've interviewed Robert Sheik, he said especially if your goal is fat loss,
Absolutely.
you don't want to eat before
Yeah,
a workout.
and your energy will already be stored in your liver and your muscles as glycogen, and of course everybody, even AJ, has more than enough fat on her body to run a marathon. So
That's gonna be a good one.
we have more than enough fat
Right,
to
yeah.
give us fuel, so we're not running low.
Yeah, people are so afraid to be hungry.
Yeah.
And I think if they would go to True North, even if they went there not to fast, if they could see how slender people go 40 days
Sure.
with nothing but water, they realize that they could actually skip breakfast.
Well, we talk a lot about it in Mastery, for sure in Mastery, because that's the higher level where it's all emotional stuff. But for surely in Ultimate Weight Loss, we talk about being able to sit with that feeling that you're having and be comfortable with it.
right.
So there's a lot of people on the boards have been posting about that they've been very successful, not panicking and realizing that when they're hungry, it's not an emergency.
Right. It waxes and wanes. It will go away. Yeah.
What about hyponatremia?
Hyponatremia.
Do some people need more salt than others?
Well, if you're following Ultimate Weight Loss, your sodium intake will be fairly low.
About 500 milligrams a day, right?
Well, hopefully it's a little bit more. It depends on how much they eat. But here's the challenge. Sodium, just like magnesium and potassium, they're very, very important life-sustaining, electrolytes. So you have to have the right balance. Where you run into a problem is if you're following Ultimate Weight Loss or any good SOS-free program, if you exercise a lot and you sweat a lot, you are losing sodium. If you're drinking then tons and tons of water, you're diluting your blood, which is hyponatremia. When you start to dilute it, you can run into problems. So I recommend just bumping up your celery, bumping up your tomatoes, using some sea vegetables in your diet. And if you really want to be cautious, if you're exercising a lot, just take a juicer or a blender and blend celery into a liquid and then make ice cubes with it, and then just take those frozen ice cubes and then plop one of them in your water
In your
bottle.
water. That sounds actually kind of good.
And then you squeeze a little bit of lemon in there, and so you're getting a nice electrolyte blend there.
So many people, and these are just people in general, not necessarily in Ultimate Weight Loss, say, oh, well, I have to eat salt, my doctor said, because my blood pressure is too low. And what they're telling me their blood pressure is like 40 points higher than mine. My blood pressure is about 88 over 54. And I think that if you feel like you're going to pass out, maybe your blood pressure is too low. But all these medical numbers are skewed to people that are overweight, smoking, eating meat, eating the standard American diet. So the numbers that we would get as a person that eats a healthy plant-exclusive diet free of sugar, oil, and salt may shock a doctor because they don't really see very many healthy patients.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah, but sodium is very important. We generally get more than enough, especially if you're using canned products like canned beans. Now, what we recommend generally is rinsing your canned beans if they have sodium in them. But as your source of sodium, we want it to be whole foods.
Or you can buy beans with no salt, or
Yeah, either way, I recommend rinsing them just to take out some of the natural sugars that can cause gas.
Right, BPA-free cans.
Yes, good idea. And better yet is to make them yourself
In your
like an
Instant Pot with a little
so
piece
easy.
of kombu so that it
Yeah.
helps alleviate that gas.
What's kombu?
Kombu is a sea vegetable. I learned this from Eric Lechasseur. And it's you just take the piece about the size of your thumb, and when you cook your beans with that, it helps.
Is it like a root or
it's
is
a sea
it
vegetable,
No,
Sea
yeah,
vegetable.
it's just,
like dulse and kelp.
kombu?
Yeah,
Okay.
it's
Kombu,
dark.
I'll have to look
Kombu.
for it. Okay, we've got some more questions here. What does JP eat in a day?
I
Oh.
would like to know. I've known him for almost 8 years. I've never seen him eat.
I've never seen her take a shower.
I think he's, well, I've invited you in. I think he's a breatharian.
She actually has. So I usually just naturally intermittent fast, so I'm usually not hungry till around 11 or 12. But on some days, I change it. My schedule changes. So some days I have a smoothie in the morning, predominantly green. Other days it could be vegetables. My first meal of the day, obviously, is going to be my vegetables. So even if I ate at noon, I'm having predominantly vegetables. So I might have a salad with some cut up sweet potato. What I like to do is if you take a sweet potato and then obviously make them in Instant Pot and then chill them. And then you can slice them like cucumbers.
They're nice.
Yeah, and then put them in your salad. That way they're a little bit heartier. And then usually maybe some beans in there. I use hummus quite a bit, so I use hummus as my salad dressing.
That's great.
And then just a mixture of vegetables. Sometimes I'll have something like tempeh, but I do a lot of beans. Sometimes I do wild rice. I don't do a ton of grains, but I do some once in a while. So pretty
Quinoa?
much.
Ever do quinoa or millet?
Yeah, millet. Yeah,
Love
millet is
millet.
really good. Sure.
We love millet.
And I do some nuts and seeds. So I use flaxseed. I use Brazil nuts. I use pecans. I use some nuts and seeds in my diet, but I think pretty much just eat very similar to what we teach.
Yeah.
I might eat a little bit more fat than
Right.
most of our people, though.
Yeah, because he's very, very active training all those celebrities up in the hills of Hollywood. And by the way, he can train you if you live locally, and he does do private consults with regular people all over the world. So go to his website, johnpierre.com. His name, JOHNPIERRE.com.
Yeah, and my email is foods, FOODSFORLIFEJP @yahoo.com.
All right. So we got another question. Why is it so hard to gain muscle as you age?
Oh,
I think it's hard anytime.
It's hard anytime, for sure. It's harder if you're a woman just because your hormone level, and whether you're a woman or man, your testosterone level is going down. It's declining as you age, and you start getting that sarcopenia where you actually are losing muscle tissue. Every year that you age, it's a battle. It's going down and down and down. The other reason is, be honest with you, most people are always doing aerobics. So they're actually catabolizing muscle tissue, eating it away. You're not really doing enough strength training. So the one thing you'll know in Ultimate Weight Loss that I've said from day one, you're never, ever, ever going to do enough strength training. So you have to work very hard on strength training and lessen your aerobics. Because most people on Ultimate Weight Loss think they're doing aerobics to lose weight. That's not what you want.
That's what their goal is.
Yeah, but
more than
you
even
lose weight
health.
in the kitchen.
Yeah.
Well, then here we go with the main question. Beginner exercises for increasing fat versus muscle. What are the first choices for starting to increase and start a program? It's exercising. What do you recommend? Want to do that?
Depends on the person.
Yeah,
doesn't
it
it?
depends
like
on
their
the
age,
person
their
and
fitness level, if they've done
I'll
any-
show a few exercises, but is that okay?
Yeah, it's fine.
Okay. So a couple of things, as you know, I always recommend exercise bands. They're the most convenient. I mean, look how small this is, especially when you fold it up. It's super lightweight, and they're not expensive. You could fit in your pocket, in your purse. You could actually fit in your wallet. So there's not an exercise that you can go to a gym and do that I can't do with the exercise bands. So one of the first ones that I recommend is that you practice doing push-ups with this. So the band literally just goes behind your back, and now I can do a standing push-up. So I'm actually doing the same thing I'd be doing if I was doing on the counter here, a push-up. And if you can do them off the counter easy, now you add an exercise band, and now I have more resistance on the counter. Okay? And if you get fitter, you can do this exact same motion on the ground with the band. So you want big bang exercises. So a push-up, what we call a chest press, is one. Now the other one, AJ, is if you could just hold this band for me with one hand, maybe this hand over there. The other one we want to practice is what we call, some people call it a row. I'm just going to grab the band this way with my palm facing in, and I'm just going to pull it straight back so my hand goes all the way to my ribs. So this is an exercise that's really working your big muscles, again, your back muscles. Now I can do it one at a time, or if I want, I could do it twice, with two at a time like this. Same thing here. And then I can change it. I can take my hands and put my palms down and do a high row like this. Now if I really want to get smart and sneaky, I can go into a squat, come out of that squat, and then do a high row, do a squat, and do a low row. And then AJ, my partner, would hold it, and then I'm going to still do a chest press here. But now it's a little bit more resistance. So the same exercises, thank you, that you would do at a gym, you can still do with exercise bands.
What's
And
that
if AJ
one?
wasn't here, you could do it with a door, right?
What's that one that you did
You
once?
can do it with the door.
Yeah, or I do it with the refrigerator handle. Isn't there one where I go like this and you try to run
Yeah.
or something?
So basically, if AJ holds on to me, I'm basically just running in place here with resistance. You can see I'm trying to go forward, then I can go back. You can get very tired doing this just for 30 seconds, and then we would switch. She would do it. Now, watch when she does it. Watch what I'm going to get a workout at the same time. So just kind of run in place. So as she's doing it, I'm pulling. So I'm getting my lat roll here. I can do a curl here. I can do a tricep kickback. So she's working for 30 seconds hard. I'm going to work for 30 seconds hard, and then we're going to switch. Now, AJ has got obviously a wrist brace on.
Yeah.
So she can't really curl a weight. But
Nope.
what she can do is she can put this band here on her wrist. So you see, and then you're going to step on it. Okay, and now all you have to do is curl. She's still getting the same resistance here in her bicep,
Wow.
whether she had a weight or not, just because these bands have automatic handles in them. Now, if she's able to get it on her hand, let's see if this won't hurt you. If you do it that way and then stand on it. This way, there's not a lot of tension there, but just keep this here and just curl. Yep. So now she's able to do that even with her thumb that's kind of hurt. But if, say, for instance, someone literally didn't have a hand, their
Right.
hand was gone, they still can work their biceps because I'm just going to place it here, and you're still doing a curl here, so she's still getting it by flexing. And just keep your elbow glued to your ribs. Yep.
Wait, I
So
think I
she's
need to
still
stop
getting
it.
the same bicep workout she would even if she was missing her hand. Okay? Does that make
Cool.
sense?
Yep, love it. And then
Good.
you change legs, right?
Yeah, exactly. The other one that you can do that's real easy and everyone needs to do is just hold the band out like this, and you can use a towel or a piece of paper. And you're just trying to hold your shoulder up here, which is working, and then you're trying to crinkle this into a little ball in your hand. So you're working your forearm, which most people neglect all the time. We have electric can openers. We go to the store and we buy all our vegetables pre-chopped already. We're missing all these fine motor coordination movements, and we're missing our strength training. So bands are the solution.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Any more questions, Kenny, on the page?
Well, we
or
got
live?
lots of questions. Question for JP. I like Aqua Fit because I have no pain moving in the pool.
Water. Oh, that's
Arthritis, are there specific things I should do to improve my exercises while I'm in the
Well,
pool?
first of all, get a aqua jogger if you don't have one already. So it's a vest that you put on, or it's a belt, and you literally can run in water and get the same cardiovascular workout that you would if you're running outside, but no impact at all. Second of all, go to livingwithharmony.org, click on resident recommendations. There's two products I get. One is the Beet Boost there, and the other is the Timeless Turmeric. The Beet Boost has 6 beets and 35 tart cherries per serving, and those tart cherries really reduce inflammation well. And the Timeless Turmeric, that particular brand, is one of the most potent anti-inflammatories you can get. You start out with a pinch a day and then work up to a teaspoon. And there's discounts on my site for that too. You'll get discounts. Some of I think the Beet Boost is discounted and free shipping.
Yeah, JP,
and you use it all the time.
JP16, it's delicious, by the way.
Really
You
is
can use
good.
it in ice cream recipes.
Yeah.
Angie's worrying about your jeans you're wearing, AJ. You want to
Yeah.
tell the truth?
Well, they're actually leggings or jeggings, and they cost me all of $4.
Oh my gosh.
Wow.
You know, they got fake pockets and everything.
Wow.
Pretty cool.
They look like they're spray painted
I
up.
know. I love them.
Well, there's someone else here that says due to an injury, they're not able to work out.
Well, how many is an injury on
Even
every
go
single
for
part
a
of their body?
walk due to an injury. What would you recommend to do if you can't walk?
Well,
Well,
Shada couldn't walk.
Yeah, I worked with Shada, and she was in a booth for 5 months, and she had the hardest workouts of her life. So yeah, I'm not sure what your injury is. If you can't walk, you still can do all the exercises in a chair. So when we get, can you get the weights over there?
Yeah, and you train a lot of people in wheelchairs.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I'm working with somebody right now who just had a Achilles tendon and calf tear, and so they were in a boot. So they've been working out harder than ever.
Colleen asks, JP, what's your accent? Where are you from?
I'm from Chicago.
I thought it was outer space.
So look, you have your weights, you're sitting in your chair, remember? You're sitting in your chair. You still can do curls, you still can do military presses, you still can do a tricep exercise here. If you get your exercise bands, so far you've already done 3 exercises, now you got a 4th one. If somebody would hold the bands for you, and now you got your rows, you got 5. If you put that in a circuit, one after another, after another, after another, you can get 7, 8, 10 minutes of exercise and raise your heart rate. So sitting in a chair or being in a wheelchair is definitely not anything you need to worry about.
And water is always an option.
Water's the best thing you can do for all-around flexibility and cardiovascular. It's hard to beat the water. The only thing the water really doesn't do well is build bone density. unless you're really pushing and pulling against water where you're tugging on the muscle and that's helping a little. But the science has showed us most of the benefit for bone building when you swim, you're never going to believe it, is when you're kicking off the pool. So when you hit the pool with your feet and you push yourself off, that's where we get some impact.
So that's good stuff then. Okay, well, Mary Louise asks, with intermittent fasting, I don't have a problem with hunger, but have a problem with feeling weak and brain fog. What might I be doing wrong?
I'm not doing anything wrong, but when you say intermittent fasting, it's kind of like saying fruit or vegetables. I don't know what that means. There's so many different styles.
Ways to intermittent fast. There's the 5-2, there's the 500 calorie days, there's the kind that we recommend where you're narrowing the feeding window, which is more like intermittent feeding, where you basically skip breakfast or skip dinner and eat within a 6 to 8 hour window.
The one that I generally recommend the most is try to, when you wake up, it's habitual that you eat breakfast. That's just something the industry has taught us. You should be eating if you're really hungry, really hungry. So normally I'm not really hungry till about 11 or 12.
Never been hungry in the morning.
It changes depending on what I'm doing and things, but generally if you could kind of just hold off till 10 or 11 and eat, and then try to have your last meal no later than 7 p.m. That's intermittent fasting right there.
How do you feel about vitamin D supplements? I was told I'm 17, I'm always low.
Yeah, well, I feel highly about them because here's the question. Where in your diet are you getting vitamin D?
Nowhere.
Well, right, and how do people in America get it, though?
From the sun. But
well, I know, but how do they get it in their diet?
Oh, I'm guessing animal products.
Right, well, they drink,
Milk?
hormonal secretion from a bovine with cow pus, so they're drinking milk, but that milk has to be fortified to have vitamin D in it. So we're not getting vitamin D really anywhere. Sure, people could argue about mushrooms that are exposed to ultraviolet light, but generally we're not getting vitamin D anywhere but the sun. So no one is exposed to the sun anymore. Most people, you know, I know that I'm up so early the sun's not even out, and sometimes by the time I get in for the day, obviously it's dark. So unless you're getting exposed to sun, my opinion is you need to take vitamin D.
Well, they need to get their levels checked. I just had my physical, mine's 67.
Yeah, but you're in the sun all the time.
Yes.
So, I mean, yeah.
You live in California. Well,
Yes.
we have a question from Gina. Gina says, I'm trying to do potatoes, but always like mayo setup. I need a substitute. Any suggestions?
Oh, what?
She likes mayonnaise on her potatoes?
Mayo, yeah.
Oh, I've got a great suggestion. It's not necessarily SOS free, but I sometimes use avocado. So if you're not worrying about SOS free, I make mashed potatoes.
Well, it actually is SOS free. It's just not low fat.
It's not low fat. Yeah.
Yes,
so
there's
you're
no
right.
sugar,
You're
oil,
right. It's
salt.
not,
Yeah.
I'm just saying for ultimate weight loss, we don't. It's a higher food.
You can make mayonnaise actually out of potatoes. You can make it out of beans. You can make it out of tofu. You can make it out of nuts.
I would pick avocados as your first choice because it is a live food. So all I do is just take your mashed potatoes, and then when you're ready to, what's the machine you use? That little thing?
Oh, the Tupperware
Masher.
Power Chef Pro.
Power Chef Pro. Yeah. Just put in your avocado, blend it, and season it, and they're green.
But remember,
They're green.
if she's in ultimate weight loss or trying to lose weight,
I didn't
avocado, fat with carbs are
Well,
not going to
I
help.
didn't know if they're, I'm not sure who's in ultimate weight loss in this
Right.
now.
I mean, is she doing this to just...
If she is in ultimate weight loss, then I recommend adding the cannellini beans in there.
Yeah.
And blending
There you
it
go.
in nice creaminess there.
And
Absolutely.
there's a great recipe on Forks Over Knives or Kathy Fisher's book.
Yeah.
Straight
good.
up foods.
Absolutely.
So
We love
that's where you need to go. My
And we love
suggestion.
forks over knives.
Yep.
And
well
we
done.
love potatoes.
Absolutely.
Give us some potatoes. Okay, Colleen says, is it okay to not add rice or potatoes to my huge salad? I usually add chickpeas.
Yeah, but that's your
that's
starch.
great. Yeah,
you don't
it's
need all
fantastic.
3 starches. It's
And
generally...
that's my favorite. I actually make hummus all the time. Chickpeas would be better than hummus because it's basically whole. It's not blended.
natural,
but
yeah.
but it's not there's anything wrong with blending them. I'd say most of the time I use chickpeas.
Yeah.
I mean hummus that from made from chickpeas.
I don't know if anybody asked here today, Kenny, but on our Ultimate Weight Loss Board, we're getting a lot of questions about surviving the holidays because tomorrow's Thanksgiving in the United States, and a lot of people are already planning to go off plan, planning to make exceptions.
Yeah. I just saw it on TV when I was waiting for you. The TV was on, and they had one of those talk shows with all those ladies, and they said on the holidays they don't want to eat anything healthy. They said, don't show me a salad, don't show me anything healthy. And that's really how you sabotage yourself because already it's a massive, huge calorie day. And what did you do mentally? You set yourself up. All these high-calorie foods, so the rest of the week they're going to be calling your name, and you're going to be tempted, and like you always say, it's going to be banging on your brain, and it's going to be a war between pulling, tugging left, tugging right. So the idea is don't change your meals. Just eat like you normally do if you're eating healthy. Don't go and try to say I'm going to have some sweets and have a little. No. It's you just eat the same way you always do.
So Colleen said about her vitamin D. She says yours is 67, mine is 17. I don't know even what that means.
Well, it's low,
Well,
so
yeah,
then
you'd like
you might
to see
want
it
to
in the high
supplement.
30s.
You might want to either go get in the sun or take a supplement.
Yeah.
And usually
Or
most
take your top off. Get some sun.
take about 5,000 units a day, and you can get the vitamin D. That's vegan now.
Right,
That's D3.
instead
That's
of
actually
D2,
vegan.
yeah.
If you go to my website, livingwithharmony.org, there's a product there that has B12, vitamin D in it, and DHA all in one, and it's a spray. It's an excellent one.
Okay, we got a really good, tough question. This is like the ultimate question of questions so far.
All right.
How much water should we drink a day?
Well,
About this much. No.
I
Well,
guess
first
it-
of all,
bring
if
it
you're
in-
eating a diet that's high in fresh fruits and
It's about a
vegetables,
liter.
you're getting most of your water that way and your electrolytes. So you don't need to drink a lot of water. As a matter of fact, I'm cautious how I say this, but you technically don't need to drink any water if you're eating predominantly fresh fruits
Right.
and vegetables. If you take all our fruits and vegetables, you can put them in a juicer, we get fresh vegetable juice or fruit juice. But if you put bagels and donuts and cookies, you don't get bagel juice. So
Any-
other foods actually can dehydrate you, but fresh fruits and vegetables hydrate you. It's fine to drink, but we recommend, as you'll see on Ultimate Weight Loss, if she's on the board, she must not be, because we talk about this all the time. But we talk about certain different powders and things that we add to our water to not only make it more palatable, but so we can get more antioxidants.
Like
in.
hibiscus.
Hibiscus,
flowers
the
is one
beet
thing
boost
I use,
especially.
yeah.
Look on the livingwithharmony.org and hit resident recommendations. Those products are on there.
I don't think I drink any water because I drink
Yeah.
my first beverage of the day. I do intermittent fasting also. My first beverage of the day in where's
Well, you have your pot liquor.
I have this holds about 27 ounces. So my first beverage of the day is pot liquor, which is the most delicious nectar from
Yeah, it's a great idea.
heavens that is made from the cruciferous crunch that my husband eats every morning.
Did
So
you
I
come
have
up with that name?
Pot liquor? No, I was actually, I think it was in New Orleans. I was teaching somewhere, and I was talking about how, not to waste the broth
Right,
from
right, right.
steaming your vegetables. I wasn't drinking it by itself then. I was saying, save it, you can freeze it, put it in ice cube trays, because that's where all the nutrients, and somebody says, that's what we call pot liquor in the
Wow,
South. And so I
wow.
tried drinking it, and it was so delicious. So every morning, even though I live in LA where it's hot, it's pretty chilly in
Yeah.
the morning, I'm up at, about 4:45, and so I have me my pot liquor. That's my first drink, and then my second drink when I'm on the spin bike is an equal amount of hibiscus tea
And you
with
also
the
use the
beet
beet
boost. And
boost.
sometimes I use that fancy schmancy vitamin C
Oh yeah,
stuff you
but
get.
that beet boost can't be beat. It's amazing stuff.
They should have
Alright.
called it can't be beet boost then.
There you go.
There you go. Question for you, JP, from Heather Goodwin.
We love Heather Goodwin.
Yeah,
I
our
left
friend
you a
Heather
message,
Goodwin.
Heather. I left you a phone message.
Did
So
you
she
see
has
her
the question.
arms? Oh my god.
Do you ever overeat, JP?
Overeat? Well, first of all, how do you define overeating? Because we don't really believe you can overeat in ultimate weight loss. Well, within reason, at least in mastery.
If you're left of the red line,
Yeah.
it's hard.
But generally, one of the things that I recommend is the
Hot
Harihachibu,
Yeah.
which is what the Okinawan juice, which means eat to 80% full. So I think it's a good idea to try your very best to try to eat to about 80% full. So when you're getting to about 80%, hey, I could still eat maybe another potato or another this and that. And you say to yourself, you know what, I'm okay. And one of the reasons that we teach that is because it teaches you not to panic. So you start realizing that sensation that you call hunger really isn't an emergency. So it's okay to have that sensation, and we want you to get used to it.
I don't think you can really overeat on non-starchy vegetables unless there's sugar or salt on them.
Well, I think in ultimate weight loss we teach one system, and then at mastery we teach another system. So in mastery we do talk about how you could kind of technically overeat.
But I'm not sure what they mean by overeat.
She doesn't mean it that way.
Yeah, because yesterday I had 3 pounds of sweet potatoes for lunch. Did I overeat?
Right.
I didn't get
No.
hungry
Yeah.
the rest of the day,
Right,
so... Was
Yeah,
it
let's
overeating?
wait for mastery to get to that. But generally, no, you can't overeat.
Not if it's left of the red line, free of chemicals like sugar, oil, flour, alcohol, and salt.
Right.
That aren't stimulating your brain satiety mechanisms.
Right, but
fully.
Heather's in mastery, so
Right.
I don't know for a question. I've discussed it, Heather, in detail in mastery because I've said that mastery is all about emotional control. So that's a kind of an interesting
When I asked
question.
Dr. Goldhammer if he ever overate, he said, yeah, every meal.
Yeah.
And he's been the same weight. He's been 180 pounds now. He's 6'1".
He's amazing, yeah.
For 40 years.
Yeah.
So, I think because people are so used to eating 92% of their calories from animal products and processed food, which are completely bereft of water and fiber. They need so many calories in order to feel full. When they start eating in accordance with the principles of calorie density, these high fiber, high water, high micronutrient, but low calorie dense food, I think it often feels like overeating because they're not used to having their stretch receptors activated by actually such a small amount of calories of food. But again, if my weight hasn't changed in 5 years, am I overeating? Because to other people who don't understand calorie density think I'm eating too much food.
I think for the most part, we answered that. For mastery, let's just say there's a few extra points we'd cover.
Okay, JP. A few people are like, I want to hire JP. Someone says, how do I hire JP out of state when he's in a different state?
He could do FaceTime.
Well, let him talk.
Yeah, so I do FaceTime and obviously Skype, and I do phone consults are the easiest. Again, it's just my email is foods, FOODS, like Sam, FORLIFEJP @yahoo.com.
Yahoo! I want to talk more about Thanksgiving, though, because, a lot of people are already planning to go off plan.
I know, they're planning to go
they're
off
actually,
plan.
it's one thing when you're in a situation where you didn't prepare and you didn't bring food and you got a flat tire and whatever reason and you've relapsed, but they're actually planning this, and it's kind of scaring me because
you're right.
It can lead there's an old saying that it's easier to, Benjamin Franklin actually coined this in the, I believe, 18th or 17th century, that it's easier to quell the first desire than to satisfy all that follows. And, if you could have eaten any amount of pumpkin pie or pecan pie or eggnog or turkey with stuffing and not had a food addiction or been overweight or had a lifestyle disease, you probably would have done it by now.
Yep.
And can be a lot of stress around the holidays because a lot of times whatever you're feeling has a spotlight shined on it. If you're lonely, you feel lonelier. If you're anxious, you feel anxiouser.
Well, tell them what, for mastery, which comes after ultimate weight loss, tell them how many programs we've done leading up to Thanksgiving.
God, we've done
that's all we've done.
7. It's talking about how to navigate the holidays.
That's all we've talked about, because it's so important that if you can get through the holidays, if you can get through Thanksgiving, Christmas, Kwanzaa, Hanukkah, and New Year's Eve, for the rest of your life, you will have such an empowerment feeling that you know you've made it through the hardest time of year, salt-free, oil-free, sugar-free, and hopefully flour and alcohol.
Today is day 23 if you're following along in Ultimate Weight Loss of the 63 Days of Abstinence Challenge. Yep. Today is day 23. We're about 1/3 done, and a lot of people are doing really, really well.
Phenomenal.
They didn't relapse at Halloween, but don't get too cocky because Thanksgiving can actually be harder than Halloween.
Oh, way harder.
Because you've got the emotions with the families and it's just...
And you're making food. Halloween, it's just there. It's not as bad.
You have a choice to either participate or not. A lot of people don't have a choice to participate in Thanksgiving. But you always have a choice because you cannot go, you cannot eat, you can eat before you go. I always make sure that I up my game on Thanksgiving and I do more exercise and I use more of the tools. I eat tighter to be lighter. And but when I'm in a stressful situation like on a cruise, instead of I don't make my program less strict. I actually make it more strict when it's more difficult.
So. Colleen asks, to do lower body exercise, is the best thing squats?
Well, best thing for what? It depends what your goal is.
For lower body exercises.
Well, yeah, but best for what? It really depends. You're trying to develop strength, endurance, balance, you're trying to get a different look. Generally, here's the way to look at it. You're going to need to get in and out of a toilet the rest of your life and in and out of a car and a chair.
Unless you want to wear a diaper.
Well, so the more that you practice squatting, the better you're going to get at it. And most of us don't practice enough because you're sitting in a chair all day.
I can't get on there.
Because you're sitting in a chair all day or you're lying in a bed, so you're not practicing.
Is this what you mean by squatting?
Yeah, and just getting in and out of your chair all day. Yep.
Namaste. All right, there's a question there. Running 5 miles tomorrow morning. Start my diet right. Well,
starting tomorrow.
Starting the day right.
Starting the day right.
Someone was saying here that they have 80 to 100 pounds to lose. She's new to the site. She wants to know, she doesn't drink soda.
Good.
And I need to find where that was because I'm going back a couple places.
Thanks for joining us, too. Glad
to
have you.
So, what would you recommend to be the first 2 changes I do? I don't drink soda or eat. I don't know the rest of it.
Well, first of all, try ultimate weight loss.
Guys, remember that when you post anything more than 2 sentences, because these are shot on an iPhone, which is very small, we can't read more than 2 sentences until we go to the main computer, so we try to answer them afterwards. But the first thing we recommend is to join Ultimate Weight Loss. He's telling you that it's 4:45, but maybe he can finish this
Yeah,
question.
first of all, join Ultimate Weight Loss, because the main thing is not only are you going to see AJ and I talking for how many hours is it? Like a whole day? It's like 12 hours, isn't it? So it's an all-day lectures. But the main thing is, it's not even that. It's the boards, the support system you get on Facebook, that all of our people are chiming in. So when you have that question, they're all going to chime in. So Ultimate Weight Loss first. I commend you for not doing the soda pop, because that's really, really huge. And then the other thing, the simplest thing you can do is start eating greens before every meal. Always breakfast starts with greens, lunch and dinner.
Half the plate is always non-starchy.
Absolutely. And first, you eat them first before your starches.
Right, that's the
Absolutely.
This group is the tightest group. It's amazing.
Yeah, and Kenny's in it now too.
Yeah, Kenny's amazing.
Yep.
Cameraman and Ultimate Weight Loss.
Ultimate Weight Loss champion. And
Veggies for
cameraman.
breakfast and cut out the oil, salt and sugar, she says.
SOS.
Two
SOS
best
ready.
things you can start with. That's from Angie Ramsey.
Thanks.
So
I love
Angie.
Angie. Hi, Angie. She's already had her Thanksgiving because she's
in Canada.
Canadian, so
Yeah.
they're already done with the
And
hard
Cindy
part.
Voss was on too earlier,
Yeah,
right?
we
You
love
said?
these gals. Yeah.
yeah, any exercise that helps with that piriformis muscle.
Piriformis
piriformis.
muscle.
I
Yeah,
have
the-
inflamed
the-
it, and
the
it's
four.
hard to sit or
Yeah.
even walk for long.
Just
Yeah.
YouTube.
What would you recommend?
Well, you,
Pigeon. In yoga, we call it pigeon, but it's
yeah, there's a piriformis stretch. You'd have to YouTube it to see
I
it.
can do
but
it.
AJ can show you.
We're gonna get down on the ground again. We're backing up.
because I have.
Okay, there's AJ.
You cross your legs.
One hand goes through, one hand goes over, and you want to grab your knee gently with both hands if you can, and gently just pull back. The piriformis, sometimes the sciatic nerve goes through the piriformis muscle, and when that piriformis goes into a spasm, it puts pressure on that
This
nerve.
is so great.
And then just you would put your head down and relax,
This is my
and then
kitchen.
you'd hold that. Yep.
Nap time.
That feels
Namaste
so
for her
good.
too. Here we go.
All right,
and
anymore, 'cause I gotta
we
leave.
need to get a wrap for JP, and then we're gonna continue on with this food
Yes,
that's cooking.
beautiful. Look
And
at it. Smells
hopefully
good.
he'll be back another time. Thank you guys for having these
So
great
let's send
questions
some
for
love and
JP.
hearts to JP right now.
Yeah,
and
don't
happy
forget, you could be
Thanksgiving to him.
sharing this broadcast right
Oh,
now.
yeah.
Oh yeah,
Sure.
share, because I'm sure there's a few people that need to know what's going on
And
here.
also put my animal sanctuary on your smiles for Amazon. So we're living with harmony, and we're in Boulder, Colorado.
So anytime you buy whatever you buy, automatically he gets a few pennies to help rescue
Help the animals. Yep.
So again, that's his website, livingwithharmony.com.
.org.
He's been plant-based for 33 years.
Yep. And you've been?
40 years.
Wow, I'm
It's
still
'cause
catching
I'm
up.
a little older than you,
Yep.
that's why. But we're both from Chicago. That's why we're
Yes.
such good people.
All
So
right,
thank you
Chicago.
guys. I have to go. We're
Okay.
getting ready for your beautiful
I'm
recipe.
still
so
here.
Thank
Thanks,
you.
JP.
Bye.
Happy
Okay.
Thanksgiving. Okay,
Thank you, JP.
So guys, we're going to finish
hearts
the
are
soup
coming.
now, and so let me show you how we finish the soup. So it's a little hot in here, isn't it, Kenny? So
It's
I'm going to
steamy.
turn the oven off. I'm going to take the
That's
top
the
off.
stove, you mean?
Oven, stove, whatever you want to call it. Great. So I didn't need to cut anything up. I'm going to add my pre-measured spices right now, which is such a great thing to do. And these jars are just jars from when I had spices, and I washed it in the dishwasher, or you can get them for 69 cents at the store. I am going to add a half a cup of lime juice. This is organic lime juice. If you're using fresh, make sure you use the zest. And the reason is because I don't use any salt. And when you use citrus or any kind of sour, whether it's vinegar or lemon or lime, it helps really make you feel like you had something salty, because the taste buds for sour sit right next to the taste buds
Here
for
goes
salt.
the immersion blender.
This is an immersion blender or stick blender. The most important thing is you keep it down when you blend, otherwise you could burn yourself. And all those big onions that we had and those big sweet potato pieces, it's just going to be turned into nice, soft, delicious soup. And when I'm done, I'm going to stir in, because I like texture, I like it creamy with chunky, I'm going to stir in the remainder of the black beans and corn. And this makes 32 cups. Look at that onion. Whoa.
Do you want to talk about leaky gut for a second?
Well, I'm not a doctor, but the people that can help you with leaky gut are all the doctors at True North Health Center. They all do consults for $95 through phone or Skype, like Dr. Clapper or Lim or Sultana or Dr. Varesh. And you can always get a free consult with Dr. Goldhammer, but the best thing for leaky gut is to go to True North and possibly even do a fast.
Okay.
Yeah.
Sherry Clibbett says hello.
Hello, Shelly. So,
what type of veggies for breakfast and smoothies? What would you recommend for that?
well, I don't recommend smoothies for people that are trying to lose weight. Is this an ultimate weight loss person or just a regular person?
That's a good question.
Not
Her
the
name is Renee Wood.
Not that ultimate weight loss people aren't regular people, but I do have some wonderful smoothie recipes in my book.
What's the best app? Oh, there we go.
There's
best.
smoothie recipes in here, but if you're trying to lose weight, I don't
Use
recommend.
less dates.
I don't actually
No
recommend any liquid calories for people that are trying to lose weight. However, there is something that called a blended salad that I'm a fan of, which is really like an all vegetable smoothie for people that just don't have time to eat their vegetables for breakfast. Sorry, it's taking so long. As you see, my hand is not as good as it could be. But you know what? I could really continue to blend this later for the people.
13 pounds.
We don't. What, 13 pounds?
Someone lost 13 pounds
Excellent.
last month to
Wow,
your
in 1
program.
month? That's really
That's
a lot. I
fantastic.
mean, for women, we expect about 1 to 2 pounds a week. For men, about 2 to 3 pounds a week. But guys, remember, ultimate weight loss is not a fast weight loss program like if you were to do a calorie restricted or portion controlled weighing and measuring program. This is an ultimate way of life, or UWL is also ultimate warranty for life. It took me 27 months to lose these 50 pounds, but I've kept them off for over 5 years now, eating all I want, whenever I want, as much as I want, but of the right foods to the left of the red line. I'm going to finish blending that later because it's noisy, and I'm going to ask Kenny to help me because this hand doesn't work as good as it could.
Ouchie.
Oh, I want to show you. I want to thank, and maybe Pam can bring Bailey over because I want to thank Deborah Chen for gifting me. Look what just came.
Let me step back a step.
First of all, it's not only my favorite color, but look at this. It says Bailey's mom, Chef AJ. It's got a little doggy attached that looks exactly like Bailey. Deborah, thank you so much. And you don't want to be on camera? We have the prettiest lady right here who's afraid to be on camera. And she got Bailey, look at this,
Oh, that's
a
a
purple
beautiful
bow tie,
bow tie.
but look what it says, Bailey.
Bailey. So
So-
you don't forget her name.
So look at this dog, you guys. So Kenny, are there any more questions, or we can sign off?
We can see here, down 36 pounds since 9/13. That's pretty good, Rachel. Awesome.
Look at this. Doesn't she look great in a bow tie, you guys? Thank you so much, Deborah,
So
for
where
the
are we
lovely
at
gift.
here? We got someone lost 8.5 inches.
Do you want to show them what you made? Because we're having our Thanksgiving dinner as
so
soon as this
what I did,
broadcast is
again,
over.
AJ talked about having some pineapple to help get the veggies down. Well, I made a beet salad, and I like to call it the beet it salad. And here's my salad. It's made with beets. I used a spiralizer, then I chopped it up, and then I took lime juice, just fresh squeezed lime juice, and then I added a little bit of pineapple and the lime juice, and I added some mango, and I took the zest and all, and I blended it up in the blender, and I stuck it in and mixed it all together with some fresh mint as well.
And it looks
And
absolutely
that's what we're going to
delicious.
have as the dessert.
And
kind
if
of
you
thing.
are
It's
in
really
Los
good.
Angeles, I'm teaching a hands-on holiday cooking class November 28th at Boulevard Kitchen. People ask if these recipes are compatible with Ultimate Weight Loss. When I do the classes in my home, they're completely compatible with Ultimate Weight Loss. But when I teach at culinary schools, they are unprocessed, meaning we're still SOS free, but we're using some of the richer, higher fat plant foods like nuts, seeds, and avocados. So there's 2 spots left if you live locally or want to. Actually, we had somebody fly in from Florida once just to take my cooking class.
That's
That was
amazing. Well, one
very,
question
very
is
honored.
Bailey going to be there or no?
Well, the culinary school doesn't let Bailey come there, but if you take my home class, which I teach about every other
Bailey's
month,
there all the time.
called Healthy Make Delicious, Bailey's there.
And
she's
look who's
and if you come to the Ultimate Weight Loss Conference in Las Vegas, Labor Day weekend 2018, with keynote speaker Dr. Neil Barnard, myself, John Pierre, Dr. Goldhammer, and Dr. Lyle, Bailey was passed around like a joint at a rock concert because
Whoa.
Bailey loves coming to the Las Vegas conferences. She probably knows just as much about this subject. Bailey actually eats in accordance with the principles of calorie density. She eats her steamed vegetables, she eats her starches, and she eats her V-Dog. So.
Well, I just see Elizabeth Abram Feldman online, and
Elspeth,
we might as well
Elspeth.
talk. Elspeth.
She's gorgeous. Elspeth is the one that gave me this beautiful
Shirt and this book.
And
So, again-
Elspeth, again, it's not too late because when
If
you
you
do an
need to
ebook,
cook something
if you-
tomorrow-
if you need, look, Kenny, can you get an idea? Look at some of these pictures.
Well, let's look at the, the
show-
cover first.
Show some. I print everything out because I'm just.
Yeah, I bought it online as well.
That's so nice of you.
And
It's beautiful recipes.
And the
Look at
pictures
the
are
beautiful
beautiful.
photography.
Yes.
Oh, look at this. You could still get this right now, you guys, and she'll send it to you immediately. Great recipes. They're
it's
either
done online. You print it out from
they're
your
either
computer.
it's called Pardon My
You could do
Turkey
it-
at thespeedyvegan.com. They're either compatible with the Ultimate Weight Loss Program or easily adaptable
and
for
that's
sure.
thespeedyvegan.com.
And you know, there's always free recipes on my YouTube page from the chef and the dietitian. We did a 50, I believe it was the 50th episode. We have a whole Thanksgiving dinner which we sent out. If you're on my mailing list, you would have got that. And of course, there's 2 low-cost holiday webinars on my eatunprocessed.com page with a lot of great recipe
Tess
ideas.
McRae's even online today.
Tess, this is Bailey. Tess, oh my God, Tess painted a picture of Bailey. I gotta show you the one Zena made. A lot of people send me pictures of Bailey.
Yes, I was going to put pomegranates in the beets too. I just ran out of time. So tomorrow's salad will have pomegranates in the beet salad, and that'd be awesome.
So, are there any more questions?
That's
Otherwise,
it. We don't have a lot of questions.
I want to wish you guys a very happy, healthy, and compliant Thanksgiving Day.
And we
with your
want to
family.
give the websites again for JP one more time.
What's his website? His name.
Living
John Pierre.
Compassion.
Well, livingwithharmony.org.
Okay.
And then he
livingwithharmony.org.
also has another website, johnpierrehisname.com. And mine is
Okay.
eatunprocessed.com, which, by the way, if you need to or want to submit a question, that's the best way to do it at my website, eatunprocessed.com, and I'm happy to answer that. And I try to go back right after this broadcast to catch any questions that I missed and save them for future episodes because we're at number 53 now. So we thank you so much for watching. And Bailey thanks you, Deborah, for her bow tie and for my bag. And I appreciate the shirt, Elspeth, and the earrings, Jackie. Boy, it's like, thank you guys so much for hooking
Well, this
me up.
is the night of gratitude. So
Absolutely.
thank
I'm
you
very-
and happy Thanksgiving to all the Americans
And I'm
watching.
very grateful to Kenny for his time helping me with these broadcasts, and Eden. I'm really grateful for all of you guys for having an
Eden's
interest.
been fantastic.
Yeah.
I'm so glad she's taken on.
I'm grateful for you guys watching and for really having an interest in your health, and I believe that you all can have both the health and the body that you so richly deserve, and it would be my pleasure and honor and privilege to help you get there. I'm Chef AJ. Thank you so much for watching episode 53 of Weight Loss Wednesday. Try the nutrient-rich black bean soup on page 143 of Unprocessed, and you too can also make healthy delicious. Happy Thanksgiving, everyone.
All right, that's a wrap. 53.